Magandang araw po mga kaibigan sa ating po namang coffee chat. We will be talking with a good friend. Ang makakausap po natin ay si Ginoong Charlie AYCO. Siya po ang Pangulo ng WeGenLaudatoSi Incorporated. We'd like to find out what's this all about. At yan ay sa ating coffee chat. I hope you're all doing fine and nobody is in a precarious situation. Walang nag-aalala sa COVID-19. I hope you're safe. Magandang araw, Charlie. It's nice to see you again on another plane. Welcome.
Yes, yes, Sir Merlo. It has been a long time and nice to see you again also. Thank you, thank you.
Well, you've been involved with people-oriented outfits. Tell me more about Laudato Si, WeGenLaudatoSi Incorporated. What's this all about?
Okay, it's a pleasure. Siguro alam naman, alam naman natin, I used to work for a long time with Habitat for Humanity. So we were into housing. Yun ang naging background kasi. And then WeGen has a story of its own. Yung founder namin is a German national. His name is Michael Salfield. Siya yung pioneer ng renewable energy, especially itong mga roof-mounted solar PV systems sa Germany. That was in the 90s, early 90s pa nga, nag-umpisa siya. And you know, ang Germany naman is very stable yung electric supply nila. And after so many years of being in the electricity business, he diverted into, kasi gusto niya yung mga environment, he diversified into yung forestry business. So, nag-establish siya ng parang forest plantation sa Sabah, Malaysia. In partnership, yes, in partnership with the state of Sabah. Kasi maraming areas doon na merong wala ng puno dahil illegally logged. So they have to reforest that. Pero hindi pwede naman na hindi commercial yung approach. The whole idea is putulin and then i-replenish. Parang ganun yung, that was the concept. Now, he explained to me na if you look at forestry, ang malaki kasing market ng forest products is still, of course, China because of the sheer number of population ng China. And then sabi niya, and when you establish a forestry area or a business, dapat malapit ka sa market. And then if you look at the map, ang best kasi na taniman ng mga puno nasa somewhere near the equator. So sabi niya, if you look at the map, itong Malaysia going to Mindanao, malapit sa equator yan. It's a very good place for forestry. And malapit din sa China. And so, after doing that business, ongoing yung business niya sa Sabah, he was looking for a place to expand. Pumunta siya sa Mindanao. Pumunta siya sa Davao. So, doon siya tumira sa isang hotel. And then, one night, nagulat siya, bigla na lang madilim. So, sabi niya, what's this? Sabi, sir, brown out. What's that? German to eh. Sabi niya, we have no power. What? Because he never experienced, sabi niya, kahit one day sa buhay ko sa Germany, hindi ako naka-experience ng brown out. So, naisip ko, andali, baka hindi muna forestry yung umpisahan kong negosyo sa Pilipinas. Ang umpisahan ko, energy. Because he already had, ang pangalan ng company niya sa Germany was Lichblick. Malaki na yon, one of the largest green energy provider na Germany. Pero wala silang malalaking solar farm, Sir Melo. Ang sa kanila, maliliit na rooftop installations na nakakalat pagkatapos by using software, ang tawag ng software nila is Swarm Dirigent, nag-create sila ng virtual solar farm. So yung mga may-ari ng bahay, sila ngayon ang naging producer ng electricity. So nag-isip siya, dito ko na lang umpisahan. So he went to Manila and then he studied it and he learned that unlike our neighboring countries, ang power sa Philippines, hindi na tayo subsidized. Nang-liberalize na kasi tayo, di ba, due to IPIRA law. Unlike Vietnam, unlike Indonesia. Sabi niya, maganda to, pwede akong pumasok. Pangalawa, ang Pilipinas, among the ASEAN countries especially, tayo yung may isa sa pinakamahal na power cost. So sabi
You
niya,
said it.
oo, nangangailangan to ng ano ko. So, he thought about it, nagtanong siya, sino ba yung pwedeng tutulong sa akin na law firm for him to register an energy company. And then somebody advised him na isa sa mga law firms who are specializing on this is the Puno Law Office. Kaya pumunta siya doon. Now at that time, kami ni Gina, we were together sa Habitat. Ito yung pagkatapos ng Typhoon Yolanda. Okay? Nung Typhoon Yolanda, ang Puno Law Office nag-donate sa Habitat ng pera to build houses for Aklan. So, nagbisita ako doon. Tapos nung bibisita ako, so I was introduced to this German guy. Oh, here's this German. And he would like to start both a forestry business sa Philippines and solar energy. Sabi ko, wow, gusto ko yung solar energy. Sabi niya, why? Ang background naman nito, ganito. Remember, meron tayong Typhoon Sendong sa Cagayan de Oro. Pagkatapos, gumawa kami ng maraming bahay. When we inaugurated the first 1,000, which was donated by Mr. Ramon Ang, San Miguel, pumunta pa nga si Pinoy at the time, noon time yon. So, pumasok kami sa bahay na feel ko, kasi noon time sobrang init. So sabi ko, kung maglagay tayo ng kisame, magastos naman. So siguro ang gawin natin, why don't we put solar panels on top of the roof so that dalawa ang maging benefit noon. Lalamig yung bahay and it will generate electricity for their needs. So, wala akong kaalam-alam ng solar. So I deputized somebody, I hired somebody who happens to be the husband of a colleague sa Habitat International. He was a Dutch national. Na ang expertise niya was solar. And they were assigned in the Philippines. So, nagpagawa ako ng feasibility study. So, I had that feasibility study in my table na ang concept, yung lahat ng bahay na ginawa namin sa Typhoon Sendong, which was around, ang total noon, mga 6,000 houses in Cagayan de Oro. Lagyan natin lahat ng solar and we create a parang virtual solar farm na nasa bubong. So, yun lang ang germ of the idea. But I didn't know how to proceed. So, nung nandun na kami sa Puno, sabi ko, if you want, I have a feasibility study. So, I got the feasibility study and gave it to him. And they got very interested. And we signed a MOA ng partnership between Habitat and yung company nila was called WeGen na pag-aralan na we will put solar panels sa mga bubong sa Habitat houses all over the Philippines. Now, to move forward, nung in 2017, ako naman, after spending so many years in Habitat, looking for other things to do, kasi naging senior citizen na ako, you want to try something new. O sige, sabi ko, I have to move. Sorry. So sabi ko, sige, hanap. And then I left Habitat, and unfortunately, that was also the time that I had a younger brother kasi Melo na was a priest. No? Itong younger brother ko, he took advanced studies ng management sa AIM. Pare siya. Now, and he was the one who worked with the bishop namin sa Bohol before to shift na yung income ng church, hindi lang yung, di ba, yung may bayad yung binyag, bayad yung living, salary basis na sila. Parang merong equity. But the problem is, kulang yung pera nila para sa salary sa mga pare. So I advised him.
You're talking of Father Andy AYCO, right?
Yes. Father Andy AYCO. Yeah, he was my younger brother. And then sabi ko, Andy, you know what? Meron kayong dead asset. Sabi niya, ano yun? Yung bubong ng simbahan at saka kumbento, ang dami niyong bubong kaya. Why don't you utilize that and put solar panels and then generate power so that you will have a passive income and it will be used to fund the church and the salary of the priests. Okay? So yun ang conversation namin. And unfortunately, my brother died.
Yeah.
But that concept was with me. So when I met WeGen, nag-discuss na kami. So they invited me. O sige, ang assignment mo, Charlie, is yung communities because you have been there. Sabi ko, where do we start? Sabi nila, Yeah, we go to the commercial kasi di ba, normal naman yan, yung commercial, you go there. Sabi ko, why don't we also involve the church? Bakit? Sabi ko, una, ang simbahan, mayroong bubong na hindi ginagamit. Okay? Pangalawa, hindi tayo kilala. So kailangan natin na magbigay sa atin ng confidence na you can trust this company, WeGen. Okay. Pangatlo, ang simbahan, merong mandate from the Pope, si Pope Francis, in his encyclical called Laudato Si, that to care for our common home. And
Yeah.
so, sabi ko, our approach, and then, fortunately, Melo, marami sa amin na nasa opisina noon, marami kaming mga ex-seminarians. And we had good close friends with the church. Sabi namin, ang problema kasi, if we are fighting about environment, and then part of that effort is to shift into renewable energy, ang weakness ng simbahan is magaling silang magsalita noon, pero they have a problem of walking the talk kasi ang problema nila, walang puhunan. Why don't we partner with them, and then we will act as the servant of the church or the partner of the church, in which we will develop concrete projects for the church so that it will become the model for the community. Yeah. And then people can say, ay, pwede pala talaga, Father, paano ba ito ginagawa? So we made a campaign to partner with the church. So, ang problema naman namin, paano i-convince yung bishop? Diba? Paano ako mag-explain sa kanya? So naghanap kami, sino ba yung obispo na technically makakaintindi? Isa namin nakita, si Bishop Cantillas sa Maasin.
Sa Maasin, yeah.
Yes. Bakit? Bishop Cantillas was a Don Bosco priest.
Yeah,
so
SBB.
ibig sabihin, Salesian siya, technical yung orientation kasi ng Salesian.
Don Bosco.
Don Bosco, yes. So pinuntahan namin.
Okay.
Excuse me, in-explain namin. In short, after breakfast, naintindihan ni Bishop Cantillas how the thing works. Ang sabi niya, go ako. I want Maasin to be the first diocese. And mag-install tayo ng solars sa bubong namin. Okay. Now, how do you disseminate it? Okay? So, pumunta kami. Sino bang obispo dito nakakaintindi ng business? Pinuntahan namin si Archbishop Du ng Tacloban.
Archbishop John.
Si John Du. Kasi si Archbishop John Du, negosyante yung pamilya niyan. And he is the treasurer of CBCP.
Yeah.
In-explain namin sa kanya lahat ng financial side of it. Okay? So, sabi ni Bishop John Du, naintindihan ko yung financial. Naintindihan ba ni Bishop Cantillas yung technical? Sabi ko, yes. Kung gano'n, nagkaintindihan na kaming dalawa. Kompleto na tayo. Meron tayong technical, meron tayong financial.
Good.
Okay? So, yun. And then we started and we partner with churches. We now have memorandum of agreements with 74 out of 85. Now, again, ano ang objective? The objective is to facilitate the shift from coal fossil fuel energy to renewable energy. No? Now, ang tanong kasi, bakit? Well, ang most common answer sa atin yan is we have to care for our environment. Yeah. Pero why? Is it because of the earth? Sabi ng founder namin, it's not the earth. Actually, kasi the earth can heal itself. Kung mawala yung tao, okay, the earth will be very fine without people. The concern is people. It's us. It's the future generation. Ako may lolo na rin ako. I have a ngayon 7-year-old grandson na.
Wow.
Unfortunately, sila, they are not the ones who can make decisions for themselves. Kasi tayo yung generation natin kasi ang decision makers ngayon. Pero what we do now, ang impact niyan nasa kanila. No? So, ito yung ano namin na we have to do this and we have to show that you can both care for the environment and at the same time make it commercially viable. Yun ang main thrust namin na our vision is darating yung time dito sa Pilipinas and hopefully all over the world na clean energy, okay, clean and affordable energy is available to anytime, anyone, and everywhere ng buong Pilipinas. And then our company will try to catalyze that. We'll hope that. Hindi namin masusolo ang Pilipinas, napakalaki ang Pilipinas. Right now, more than 50% ng source natin ng power ngayon, coal. Coal pa rin. Now, merong isang nangyari. There was a plan ng isang company to put up a 300 megawatt coal plant sa Negros. So yung 4 na bishop doon, sina Bishop Jerry Alminaza, yes, sina Bishop Buson, they together, they tried to fight against that. And true enough, parang hindi matutuloy na yung coal plant. But the fact is, Negros still would need 300 megawatts in the next few years. So sabi ni Bishop Jerry, na meron kami partnership sa kanila, ano naman yung i-counter offer natin? And so we have a partnership now with the 4 bishops. We have made a presentation. Now we will make Negros as one of our focus areas. And hopefully, in the next 4 years, we can put up between 260 to 300 megawatts in Negros. But, ito yung but na malaking melo. Kadalasan kasi, ang makikita natin basta solar farm. Di ba? Malalaki yan. Ayaw namin ng solar farm. And then the reason is not only environmental, na nakipag-compete yung paggamit sa lupa ng solar. Hindi lang. The main reason is actually economics. Ganito kasi, no? Example ko lang. Dito sa Manila, binabayaran natin sa Meralco per kilowatt hour na kuryente is nasa 10 pesos per kilowatt hour. Average. Pag minsan lumampas niyan, pag minsan below that. But let's just say, average. Kadalasan sa Pilipinas ganon. Per kilowatt hour. Kung tingnan natin yung electricity bill natin, ganon, 10 pesos. Now, ano ba yung composition ng 10 pesos? Yung 5 pesos of that, or sometimes 5.50, which is 55% or 50%, yun ang generation charge. Meaning, yun ang cost of electricity na binibili ng Meralco from the coal plant or from the hydroelectric plant, yun ang blended niya. So, sa 5, meron pa tayong 5 na titira. So, saan yung 5 na yan? Maybe, yung piso niyan is the cost of transmission of electricity. Itong transmission charge. Kung galing sa Bataan yan, galing sa Manila, piso yan. So, 6 pesos na yan. Okay. The other one, yung 2 pesos niyan, yun ang kita ng Meralco or ng electric co-op to distribute the power within its area. No? Okay. So, that's what we call distribution charge. So, total 8 pesos na yan. Yung remaining 2, combination yan ng buwis ng gobyerno, mga system charge. Okay. So, in other words, nagbabayad tayo ng 10 pesos, pero ang real cost noon is 5, add-ons yung another 5. But if you put the power doon sa bubong ng bahay, okay? The same, for example, maglagay tayo ng 1 kilowatt doon sa bubong ng bahay. Una, hindi na siya magbabayad ng transmission charge. Nasa taas lang ng bahay niya. Okay? Hindi na rin siya magbabayad ng distribution charge. Wala din siyang buwis kasi siya may-ari nun. Okay? Wala ng systems loss kasi andyan lang eh. So in other words, ang cost niya ng electricity goes down tremendously. So the reason why we do not go into solar farm is because ang nakikinabang ng solar farm are more of the owners of the solar farm rather than the customer.
Okay.
Ganon.
All right.
Yeah. So, yun ang approach natin. And then, what's the future? What's the future? Tayo, whenever we talk of energy, anong role natin? Consumer lang, di ba?
Consumer.
Sumidor lang tayo.
Limitado tayo ron.
Yes, okay. But, kung maglagay tayo ng solar sa bubong natin, anong nangyari sa atin? We also become a producer of electricity. Nagpo-produce tayo. So, we become both a producer and a consumer of electricity. Ang tawag namin nun, prosumer. So, ang ultimate direction is we have to democratize electricity generation by making people participate in electricity generation through small installation sa mga bubong nila. Okay? So, dati kasi Melo, one way yung takbo ng kuryente. And it's because nung time pa na nag-umpisa yung kuryente sila to, mas Edison pa yan, di ba? You have to produce electricity from a place na merong potential source. For example, dito sa Manila, Angat Dam. Yung Angat Dam, nasa Bulacan. So gagawa ka ng dam doon, ang bahay niyo Melo, dito sa Manila. So dapat dalhin yung kuryente from Angat dito sa Manila. Di ba? And merong cost niyan. Pero ngayon, because of technology, hindi na kailangan na gano'n ang sistema. We can already put very small energy production systems sa bubong natin, parang miniature solar farm. So, na ano ngayon? Na anong tawag no? Nabulabog yung buong
Na-revolutionize.
system. Na-revolutionize yung buong system. Ang siguro in your industry, this is very very dramatic. Kasi ang analogous nito is, di ba before when we talk about communications and media, we always talk about mass media. Merong radio, centralized broadcasting, and then everybody would listen. Ngayon, social media. Everybody becomes, lahat nagbo-broadcast ngayon. Ganon ang nangyayari sa energy industry. And that is the transition that we are in. And we hope that WeGen, by focusing on these small rooftop installations, we help address the problem of environmental protection. We help address the concentration of energy production in few hands and democratize it. And by doing that, it means that we can bring down the cost of electricity because everybody would participate and this country will become competitive.
Very good.
So yun ang dream.
Yun ang background. Okay.
Pero yun ang background pa lang.
Maganda kasi ito, maganda yung approach. Pero let me ask you, katulad ng paglalagay ng solar panels sa simbahan.
Yes.
I come from Albay, I come from Quezon Province. These areas are typhoon-prone areas.
Yes.
Will the solar panels outlast the storms that usually pass the Philippines?
Yes, very good question. Kasi anong tawag ba yung, there was a strong typhoon that hit Bicol last December.
Marami na.
Yeah, last December. Anyway, meron kaming installations. Unfortunately, hindi nasisira yung mga installation. Bakit? Una kasi, naka-anchor talaga yan doon sa trusses natin. And then, pangalawa, medyo may kabigatan ang solar panel, 25 kilos ang bawat isa. In fact, nakakatulong yun sa bubong kasi, di ba, yung iba, nilalagyan pa nga ng kawayan yung bubong para kung may bagyo, hindi lilipad yun. And then the third one that we are offering, yung kung grabe talaga ang lugar is, ang offer namin is we spray polyurethane foam muna sa bubong. So that maging monolithic yung bubong, inados magkadikit na sila lahat. And then, saka natin ilagay yung panel sa taas. So we can do yung technical side of it. And of course, we also ensure na yung solar installations natin. Because we assume the liability habang hindi pa binabayaran.
Okay. So at least meron tayong panghahawakan dyan. Pero next question. Kung ako may bahay na maglalagay ako ng solar panel, yung economies of scale, if I buy my panel, which is about 25 kilos, gaano ko katagal mababawi yung capital ko sa pagbili ng panel sa pagbaba ng aking kuryente?
Okay. Ganito yun. A quick answer is, kunyari, you buy it in cash, ang payback period nito is between 5 to 7 years. Depende sa type of panel. Ang warranty, by the way, ang warranty ng panel is 25 years. Warranty yon. And then, ang life ng panel, umaabot yan easily ng 30, 40 years. Ganito kasi yung nature ng panel. Every year, mag-degrade siya. Okay? Now, during year 1, 3% ang ibaba niya. So for example, maglagay tayo ng 10 kilowatts. So 3% ng 10 kilowatts ang mawala niya after 1 year. And then after that, 0.7%. But on the 25th year, ang kaya pa niya is 80%. Okay? Now, but I'll approach it another way, Melo. Ganito. And this is very interesting. Okay. Let us say, maglagay tayo sa bahay niyo ng 1 kilowatt, 1,000 watts. No? Mga ano lang yan, mga 3 panel. Okay? 1,000 watts. Ang pinakamahal na presyo ng 1,000 watts is 80,000. Okay? Yan ang pinakamahal niya. Now, so, ang 1,000 watts o 1 kilowatt will produce around 4 kilowatt hours a day. 4 kilowatt hours. So, ibig sabihin, times 30 days in 1 month, it will produce 120 kilowatt hours. Kung bilhin mo yan sa Meralco, that's 1,200 in a month. In 1 year, that's around 14,000 pesos in 1 year. Now, magkano yung investment nyo? 80,000. Magkano na-save nyo because of that 1 kilowatt? 14,000 pesos in 1 year. I-ratio natin yan. What is the return of investment? 14,000 divided by 80,000, that's around 18%. If you look at it from the side of investment, if you have 80,000 ngayon na nakadeposito sa bangko for 1 year, my God, you cannot get 5% interest on that.
Of course.
Di ba? Wala. Wala yan. Swerte ka na kung meron kang 2%. No? But in terms of investment, magkano ang kinikita mo by your 80,000? It will give you a return of 18% annually. Every year yan. So, sabi ko nga, in 5 to 7 years, bawi na yan. The rest of that, in the next 25 years, wala ka nang binabayaran. Now, meron nagtanong sa akin, kaibigan ko, he was into selling cars, magaling na marketing, magaling na salesman. Sabi niya, Charlie, kung ganyan yan kaganda, why is it that not everybody is into it pa? In other words, why is it that not yung mga tao, they are not running to buy that? Okay? Sabi ko, very good question. Pag-isipan ko nga. Ang una, kakulangan ng information, ng knowledge. People don't understand how this system works. And then the biggest, based on a survey, reason why they do not go into it is malaki yung initial investment. No? Kailangang umutang. In fact, I submitted yung isang paper na gusto kong i-discuss. Sabi ko, the biggest constraint here is this. Ang mga malalaking negosyante, they can go to banks kasi ang mga bangko gusto magpautang basta malaki yung amount na utangin mo. No? So kung mag-loan ka, dapat may collateral ka. Kung hiram ka ng 50 million, 100 million, you will be entertained by the bank. Pero kung ang hihiramin mo lang, maglagay ka ng 1 kilowatt peak doon sa bubong nyo, hihiram ka lang ng 80,000, walang bangko magpapautang sa'yo.
Wala.
Wala talaga because of the very high transaction cost. So sabi ko, the greatest gap dito is in terms of customer, ang daming may gusto because makakamura sila. In terms of technology, it is readily available. The missing link ngayon is home financing sa mga tao, which is readily accessible sa kanila. No? And in fact, I think that's where we have to fight na sana yung mga cooperatives, they will come out with their financing. Parang ganun. Because that's the gap. And then, ultimately, just imagine this. For every kilowatt hour ng solar energy produced, it prevents or it avoids 1 kilo of CO2. Yun ang ratio niya. No? So, if I put 1 kilowatt sa bahay niyo, Milo, in 1 month, you avoid, by not using fossil fuel as your source of electricity, you avoid 120 kilos of CO2. Okay? So, ganon siya. ang ano natin. So this is for us. We have to inform the people kung importante ba to. I think ang challenge natin is if we talk about the environment, di ba yung sinabi ni Maslow sa atin, yung Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Yeah.
Parang gano'n. Oo. Di ba? Parang yung environment kasi parang nasa middle need yan eh. Di ba? Parang, parang...
Hindi ba nga nakikita yung kahalagahan nun eh?
Oo nga, oo nga.
Nakikita yun dahil very basic, hanggang pagkain lang, survival lang eh.
Correct, correct. Kaya, if we talk about environment lang, wala pang laman yung tiyan, wala, hindi tayo papansinin. Kaya, ang message namin is hindi. Kung maglagay tayo ng maliit na solar sa bubong nyo, okay, you can save this amount of money na pwede din yung pambili ng bigas.
Mm-hmm.
So, nag-sample kami, Melo, I think 3 or 4, nilagay namin dito sa bandang Pasig, nakalimutan ko yung, di ba yung areas doon na maraming informal settler? Yung dinideclare na, di ba, napakarami yan. Yung kung saan ngayon yung...
Tumanggahan.
Oo, papunta dyan. Di ba yung C6 yun, yung galing sa South Expressway? Okay, dyan. So, naglagay kami ng isang community. Pumunta kami doon. Ang nilalagay namin, tigda 2 o 3 solar panel lang. Para lang makita ng community. Tapos, yun ang in-explain ko sa'yo, na maglagay kami ng 3 panel, they could save mga 1,200 pesos in electricity a month. Yun ang savings nila. Of course, meron silang puhunan doon. Hanggang mababawi nila, hindi pa maneto natin. But look, if you can avoid spending 1,200 in a month, pambili na yun ng bigas. Halos isang na yun. No? Malaki na yun.
Malaki na yun?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Pero sasabihin naman ng ilan nating kababayan, who cares about electricity bills? Bakit? May jumper naman ako. Pero pag nahuli kang may jumper, adios, patria adorada. Malaki ang multa, may kulong pa. Yeah. So, siguro, can you tell me, aside from the Diocese of Maasin and the Archdiocese of Palo, alin pa yung mga archdioceses and dioceses na nakasama na ninyo? At nagsisimula ng projects?
Yes. Na meron na talagang project. Ang pinakamalayo up north is Diocese of doon sa Batanes. Meron tayong installation doon. Okay. Sa Batanes. And then of course Lawag. Yes. Lawag. Sa Pangasinan, meron tayo sa Lingayen. Meron tayo dito sa San Fernando. Halos of course dito sa Metro Manila, sa Bishop Ambo David, dito sa Caloocan. No? And then Diocese of Cubao, marami. Right. Yes. Ito maliit. Sa Manila, hindi pa kami nakasign kasi si Bishop Pabilio, caretaker kasi siya, administrator. He has to wait na, so hindi siya pwede mag-sign. So meron, yes. And then of course, dito sa, I think sa San Pablo, no? Mas familiar, of course, I think we already have sa Sorsogon and then Naga. Okay. We have in Virac, Catanduanes, yes. And then practically all the dioceses sa Samar, Calbayog, Catarman, Borongan. Yes, and then I mentioned already there are 74 of them. I think out of the 74, meron kami installation ng mga 50 na. All over. Okay. Yeah. And then
magandang makita ito at makita din yung mga nabibiyayaan ng project na yan, no?
Yes. Aside from the churches, we also have commercial. Ang pinakamalaki namin ngayong installation is isang shrimp farm sa General Santos City. Ito din maganda yung kwentuhan dito kasi the owner is Marfin Tan. He was awarded as the most outstanding businessman of General Santos. No? So, I was introduced by some priest sa kanya kasi he is a lay leader. So, ang sabi ko sa kanya, Noy Marfin, alam ko naman malapit kayo sa simbahan. And then, meron sabi nga si Pope na Laudato Si, to care for our home. Ito lang yung question ko. how will a good Catholic businessman respond to the call of the Pope? Ganon. Sabi niya, ano sabi ko? Sabi ko, isang konkreto kasi dito that will help your business is maglagay tayo ng solar dito sa fish pond mo. Malaki yung fish pond niya, ang shrimp farm niya. Ang isa nun is 100 hectares. And
Wow.
then, malaki. And then, 24 hours yung kuryente gamit nila. Kasi ano pala, kung mawalan sila ng kuryente tapos mawalan ng oxygen, 30 minutes lang yung lead time nila. Mamamatay na yung shrimp. So tuloy-tuloy yan. So we installed 700 kilowatts sa ano niya. And it's now operating and he was very happy. Sabi naman, ipakita natin to sa ibang businessman. So, ang punto lang namin doon, you can do good at the same time do well. No? Yung profit, malalaki yung kita mo and you are doing good by shifting your source of energy. And then the other one is a hospital. This is owned by the Baptists. Doon sa Jensen din, this is a 300 kilowatt peak doon sa Mindanao Medical Center. So, yung iba, merong mga schools, and meron din kaming island, Melo. Ang first island project namin na off-grid is sa Pamilacan Island sa Bohol. Ang Pamilacan Island is in the town of Baclayon, which is the next town from Tagbilaran, and it is beside Panglao Island. Now, ang masakit nun, i-imagine mo lang, if you stay doon sa Pamilacan in the evening, makikita mo yung mainland Bohol ng daming ilaw, makikita mo yung Panglao Island kasi andun yung mga resorts, ang daming ilaw, tapos wala silang kuryente. Masakit yun. Ano na yun? 2020 na, parang gano'n. And then, andun yung mga bata, nag-aaral. So, we put up our very first project doon ng islands. Actually, we donated it to them. It's a 39 kilowatt na solar. And then, ang ginawa namin, nag-hybrid. Solar during the day, and then my generator, yung WeGenLaudatoSi, yung electric co-op nun, that's during the night. Kasi dati, mga ano lang, ang generator nila for 3 hours lang. Ngayon, they can go all the way the night kasi during the day, ang solar na nag-power. And fortunately, it's ongoing now as we speak. Merong expansion. Gawin ng 80 kilowatts yun. We got a 40 a grant from UNDP for that. But we want to show it na it can be done also in these places. And what we did to the people, kasi we cannot just donate kasi for-profit company kami. So what I did was I partnered with WeGenLaudatoSi and sabi ko sa mga tao doon, parang this is a moral responsibility for us. So we will help you access donor funds. So ang nag-donate sa amin, UNDP, and we are implementing it and it's donated to them. Parang ganon. And then the other story is yung Marawi, after nagkagulo sa Marawi. So pumunta ako sa Marawi kasi mag-install kami kasi wala namang, hindi naman reliable yung kuryente doon. Nakita ko, naawa ko sa Bishop. Sabi ko, Bishop, kung pababayarin kita ng solar, parang wala ka naman natang collection.
Kasi, you're talking of Bishop Edwin de la Peña.
Yes, si Bishop Edwin.
Yeah, he's a good friend.
Yeah. Sabi, Bishop, ganito na lang gawin natin. Sabi, Charlie, ano gawin natin? O sige, kausapin ko si Father Anton Pascual. Kasi si Father Anton was also a fellow Josepino, kaklase yun ng brother ko, ni Father Anti. Sabi, Anton, mag-donate ka naman yung Caritas, mag-donate ka naman doon sa Marawi. And then we will design and install for them. Hindi na yung profit namin, ano na, basta bawi lang kami, okay na. So yun, we also do that for this project. And I hope, again, the purpose is, una, for the church to walk the talk. No? Na meron talagang, na ang importante kasi, Melo, na we can demonstrate that it is both desirable from the environment side and it is financially feasible.
Yeah.
In other words, ganun dalawa na talagang if I go into it, I have financial benefit kasi I'll spend less for my electricity compared to the current setup. Yun ang demonstration natin and I hope it will catch up. I hope it will catch up and makita natin in the future, sabi ko nga, this is for the future, this is for our kids, for our children, na kung sumbatan tayo na years from now, sabihin namin, naman natin, we also did our part to prepare a better country for you. Parang gano'n.
Mhm.
Oh.
Magandang idea yan. It's very encouraging to find out that there are outfits like yours doing this yeoman's job, no, of bringing the teachings to reality. This is laudable, no? Pero
Thank you.
siguro, ano ang naging response? Meron ba kayong engagements with local government units?
Okay. Yes, meron akong engagement. Meron kaming active negotiation talaga ngayon is the province of South Cotabato, Tagum City, and then the town of Tubigon in Bohol, the province of Laguna. I also had a conference call now with the staff of Governor Manotoc, Ilocos Norte. Yes, meron kami. Ang more advanced lang, dalawa yung thinking ng mga LGUs na nakita. One is, yung iba gusto mag-avail ng pera from DBM grant. Na makuha sila ng grant and then they bid it out, na ibig sabihin, meron silang solar, wala silang puhunan. It's out somebody else's money. Okay.
Yeah.
The other group, wala silang grant, is we introduce them to the financing facility. One of that is the Development Bank of the Philippines. Meron silang tinatawag na E2Save, that they can finance up to 100% of an LGU project. So ini-introduce din namin sila. And then yung ibang LGU, willing na sila yung borrower, yung iba naman ayaw. Kasi politically, atakihin daw sila ng mga kalaban nila na
At hindi lang yon, 3 taon lang ang lifespan nila kung hindi sila ma-elect.
Yes. And then we had an agreement with DBP. In fact, I just had a conference call, a Zoom call with DBP this morning. Pinag-usapan na namin yung business model that we can partner. Because meron din kaming barangay sa Kidapawan that we help them. But again, ang in-emphasize ko sa LGU is not only that they can save, not only that they are doing good for the environment, but kailangan ng modeling. In other words, kasi ang tao kasi tumitingin, no? So, kung meron kang installation sa LGU, yung constituents mo, pwedeng pumunta doon, Mayor, pwede bang patingin? How does a solar system work? Totoo bang nakaka-save kayo? Ganon. And then that's how
You generate
the
interest.
work. Yes. Kasi demonstration ang kailangan natin, no? Wala naman tayong mahahawakan.
Yun nung kabataan natin, ang ginagawa nung araw, meron mga pilot schools sa public schools, right?
Yes.
Kaya sabi ng mga Hapon na nakarating sa Bicol noon, dito nyo ba sinasana yung nagiging piloto ninyo dahil pilot school? Yeah, pero seriously, nabanggit mo na meron kayong agreement with 74 out of 85 ecclesial provinces.
Yes.
Siguro dapat meron din kayong model na simbahan na madaling makita ng tao. Para
Yes.
malaman nila na ito talagang kapaki-pakinabang at tumutugon pa doon sa Sustainable Development Goals na pagkakaroon ng affordable at clean energy, right?
Yes. Yung iba, nasa mga cathedral, like sa Caloocan, nasa San Bartolome. The same with yung ibang mga, like sa Surigao, nasa cathedral din nila. But I agree with you, we need more visibility. Kailangan talaga na mas makita na dumarami. Kasi ang tao naman gumagaya kung ito pala. As long as you provide good information, meron silang makikita, and then access, make it easy for them to apply, and then facilitate. Kung kailangan mangutang, alam nila mangutang, or in other words, make it easy for them. So we are moving towards that. In fact, I got Gina here na nagpatulong ako sa kanya ng branding and make this thing more known all over the country.
Okay, let me ask you, how different is your solar panel from those being bought in Raon and other areas in the country?
Okay. Ang panel kasi, meron siyang quality standards. Ang premium, ang gumawa ng rating nito ang Bloomberg, na hindi lang yung panel including yung nagbebenta ng panel. Ang tinatawag nila kung top quality niyan, tinatawag nilang tier 1. No, so it constitutes mga 2% ng panel manufacturers in the world. Now, bakit sabi hindi lang yung panel? Kasi, di ba, sabi ko, ang warranty ng panel is 25 years. So kasamang ina-assess ng Bloomberg, yung tier 1 is anong stability ng company. So that, kunyari, 20 years from buying the panel, kung may problema, you can still call on the warranty. Kasi kung unstable yung company, nawala na. Useless na yung warranty natin.
Of course.
Yeah, so yun ang una, na it's the quality of the panel. Kasi parang, ang panel parang cellphone yan Merong high quality, merong hindi naman, merong patapon. But if you use a lower quality panel and then it will not last that long, sayang lang yung gastos, no? And then the other one, which is the most critical, ang panel is easier kasi ang panel walang moving parts yan. Parang binibilad lang yan sa araw. Ang more critical, Melo, is yung inverter. Ganito kasi, tatlong major components ng solar. Ang panel, ang inverter, saka yung mounting system. Okay lang yung mounting system, bakal lang yan. No? Ang inverter, bakit invert? Dahil yung kuryente na pinoproduce from the panel is a DC current. Direct current siya. Oo, parang sa battery. Ngayon, ang ginagamit nating kuryente sa bahay is AC, alternating current. So yung inverter, siya yung nag-convert from DC to alternating current. Parang magamit natin yung kuryente together with appliances natin sa bahay. Now, yung mga inverter na yan, may iba't ibang function. Ang ginagamit natin, ang usual na ginagamit namin ang brand Solar Edge. Bakit? Ganito Kunyari, meron kang, lagay na lang natin, kung malaking installations, 100 na panels sa bubong. Ngayon, yung Solar Edge, sa bawat panel, nilalagyan niya ng sensor. Ang tawag nun, optimizer. Bakit? Kasi, ang pag-arrange kasi ng panel by group, ang tawag ng group na yan, array or string. No? So, kunyari, kung 100 panels yan, by group of 20, meron kang 20, meron kang 5 strings. Ang problema, kung merong isang dahon na maliit, okay, na dala ng hangin, doon nadala sa bubong nyo, andun sa isang panel, na-reduce ang production ng panel na yan by 20%. Yung 19 others na panel, sasabay niyan. Babagsak yun. Kasi ang string, uniform yung production nila per panel. So ang solution na hindi mangyari yun, lalagyan mo ng optimizer. So yun ang isang reason niya, maximization. But the more important reason is sensor siya. Anong ibig sabihin? Kunyari, God forbids, may sunog. No? I-off natin yung plangka natin, no, sa Meralco. Pero yung panel natin sa taas, nag-produce pa yun ng kuryente. Yung sensor na yan, tinatawag niya may rapid shutdown feature. Ang sensor niya na kung mawala ang Meralco, i-off niya kaagad yung kuryente doon so that kung may bombero, walang kuryente pag akyat ng bombero sa taas. So yun ang mga safety feature. Kaya ang presyo will depend kung ano yung features na ilalagay, and we always emphasize safety. Itong mga feature na to, this is not yet required sa electricity code ng Philippines, pero this is required in the US. Pero we heard na i-adapt na rin to sa Pilipinas. But this is a very important thing. Pero kung maliliit na mga 3 panel, hindi na kailangan yan. Pwede namang akyatin yan. No? This is for big installations.
Okay. Maganda yung binabanggit mo, pero let's look forward. Ano yung nasa pipeline ninyo ngayon na madaling makikita ng ating mga kababayan yung inyong ginagawa?
Okay, so we are doing now certain schools. Meron kami sa Tarlac. They have just installed. Meron kami sa Bulacan. And then itong sa Laguna that I am working on na nag-review na ng contract. This involves 28 installations. Lahat ng mga district hospitals ng province of Laguna. And then yung iba na yung nasa south. But I hope that meron din dito sa Laguna na parang oil mill, yung coconut oil mill.
Okay.
In-arrange pa rin. But I hope that we can have more dito sa Manila talaga para makita sa mga tao kasi dito yung malakas na demand.
I can imagine the importance of this. Okay. Meron tayong limited timeline, kumbaga, dahil yung local government units will have new leaders by next year.
Yes.
So ano ang inyong timeline? Doon sa mga simbahan, nariyan yung mga obispo. They are there until they are promoted to an archdiocese or probably from an archdiocese to a place like Manila or anything, no? So,
Yes.
ma-assign sa Vatican. Pero mas stable yung simbahan, right? Walang pagpapalitan dyan eh. Hindi election yan eh. So, anong gagawin ninyo sa mga susunod na panahon?
Ang usual na ginagawa namin is we work with the governors, the mayors, and the leagues. Pinag-usapan namin. And then, before we participated sa the ILG then, yung PPP for the people. But ang mangyayari talaga dito, and here is a good development. Ang Department of Energy, nag-pass na sila ng implementing rules ng Energy Efficiency and Conservation Act, which was the law passed in 2019, mandating all energy users, especially the LGU, to find ways na they could be more efficient and they can conserve energy. And with that mandate, we hope that yung mga mayors will take that up. And the other one is, tingin ko naman, this is really coming, it should come from the public. In other words, politicians, they always respond to public opinion or public clamor. Yun ang language.
May exception yan. Yung mga manhid.
Yeah. Yung mga, alam mo bakit naging manhid yun? Okay? Yung iba kasi naging manhid kasi akala nila sigurado na hawak nila yung boto.
Yan.
Pero kung titinagin mo yan, okay, hindi na maging manhid yun. But anyway, politicians tend to respond to public opinion. And this is where people like you and the public can say that we want green energy. Ganun yun, kasi nasa batas yun eh. Pero kung walang pressure, na gawin yun, in terms of priorities, hindi nila bigyan ng priority yun. Pero kung sabihin ng mga tao na we want this because number one, it's not only, this is financially sensible kasi we can save a lot of electricity. Number two, kailangan talaga natin to protect the environment. Ang pangatlo, Melo, na inisip ko, ganito eh. And I hope we will reach there before we get old enough. Kinukompute ko yung Melo. Ito, ang tanong ko. And I expressed this to my founder. Sabi ko, my dream is the production of electricity will become a cottage industry. Sabi na, anong ibig sabihin? Okay, ganito yun. Let us say, farmer ako. Meron akong backyard. Meron akong lupa na 500 square meters. No? Lagyan ko lang ng panel yung 500 square meters na yan. It will generate enough electricity na mabubuhay ako in 1 month. Kasi kaya yung 500 square meters na yan to produce mga 20,000 pesos passive income for the farmer. No? So, instead, imagine mo, Melo, instead na meron tayong, sabihin na lang natin, 100 hectares of solar farm. Nang may may-ari nun, isang kumpanya. Okay? I-chop-chop natin yan. Ilagay natin sa mga bubong sa mga tao, ilagay natin sa mga backyard ng mga tao, and then they will generate electricity that will give them a return of maybe 15,000 to 20,000 pesos a month. Lahat ng calculation, madali lang yan. It is easy to do na yung i-produce mong electricity, okay, it will give you, di ba sabi ko sa iyo, 1 kilowatt will give you 1,200 a month. Pero yun ang savings mo. That's 10 pesos per kilowatt. Kung pagbenta lang natin wholesale na parang Meralco, 5 pesos lang tayo, 600 pesos a month per kilowatt. Okay? Ibig sabihin, kung meron tayong 10,000 o 10 kilowatts, that's 6,000. Okay? So, kung 30 kilowatts, that's 18,000. Kung meron silang passive income meaning wala kang ginagawa, no? Meron kang 18,000 at 5, dagdagan mo na lang yan sa normal na livelihood mo, you have a decent income na. So the only question is, if the big banks are willing to fund a big businessman for this 100 megawatt na 100 hectare na project, can we find a way in which our banks, our government will lend, no, doon sa mga mahihirap to put up this? Because the technology is not a problem. The system is not a problem. No? The way to manage that is not a problem. It's just that if we want people to participate, kailangan natin, matandaan pa natin noon, di ba? Meron tayong mga loans for livelihood. Ito kasi, meron talaga yan. Kasi you have asset to back your loan. Andyan yung installation. Hindi mo naman pwedeng itapon yan. No? So, that's my dream. Why I am here. Bakit ang sabi ko sa founder ko, boss, ganito, tell me naman na the main reason why I am here with you is I'm looking forward that there will come a time, okay, before I leave this world, na makikita ko na yung mga farmers, meron silang maliliit, micro solar farm in their yards and giving them income and making them eat, which is a passive income. If we can do that, our life is worth na gawa na natin. Okay? And then it's worth waking up every morning and going to the office and trying to pursue this dream.
Okay. Very good. Napakaganda nito. Pero let me ask you, when our viewers would like to find your company, you and Gina, saan kayo pwedeng tawagan o mapuntahan? May website ba kayo? May email address ba kayo for more information?
Okay. Si Gina is in charge of updating our website. We have the website. And by the way, nagkalat kami ngayon. We will be operating 9 regional offices. And then, we will also connect with the social action centers ng mga dioceses. Di ba? We have 74 so that they can do that. So, either they go to our Facebook page or they go to our website kasi andun yung mga contact numbers. They can send us an email and then tingnan namin kung saan sila and then we will send somebody to facilitate.
Very good. Anong message mo sa ating mga kababayan? What could be done? Ano ang pwedeng gawin sa pagtutulungan? Please, go ahead.
Okay. Ang mensahe ko is very simple. We are the decision makers now. It is our generation. And we are getting old. And what we are trying to do is for the future, for our children. Unfortunately, hindi sila yung in the position to make decisions. So let's take this very, very seriously. Now let's hear the call of Pope Francis in his Laudato Si. Meron siyang tinatawag na Laudato Si pledge. And I hope you can check that. Okay? Tatlo lang yung hinihingi sa kanya. Natin. No? Sabi niya, number 1 is to pray for and with creation. Okay? Number 2 is to live more simply. And number 3, to advocate for the environment. Ganun ang start natin. And I hope that all of us can sign and go to that Laudato Si pledge. It's our pledge to ourselves, no? To pray for and with creation, to live more simply, and to advocate for the environment. We are just a tool for that, and we hope we can realize this dream.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much. For the information of our listeners, yung binanggit niyang Laudato Si is a papal encyclical written by Pope Francis, released on May 24, 2015.
Yes.
Okay? Pwede nyo ma-access yan, makuha nyo kung anong nilalaman yan. Thank you very much, Charlie. It's nice
seeing you
well and well entrenched into something na masasabi natin na talagang worthwhile. Congratulations. You stay healthy because we need more people like you na
And you too.
manatili yung paa sa lupa samantalang ang layunin at ang miti ay nasa ulap. There's no harm in keeping your heads high in the clouds provided you have your feet on the ground. Thank you.
Yes.
Have a nice
Thank
day.
you. Thank you very much, my love.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you very much. Bye-bye. God bless.
Thank you.